Welcome to the Carolina Girls Podcast with Heather and Cher.
Hey guys, I want to introduce myself. I'm Heather.
And I'm Cher.
And we're the Carolina Girls Podcast.
Oh, Heather, it's our first podcast. It's our first episode. How are you feeling?
I am super excited. I'm a little nervous, a little scared, but I am so excited to share all the wonderful things about us that is going to just make this podcast so much fun. What about you?
I am so excited. Like, seriously, super excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm more excited. I mean, we have this awesome platform where I get to be with my bestie and do the one thing that I love to do, and that's to talk.
She loves to talk.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
You know I love to talk.
Yeah,
and
I do.
We have so much to share. We have so many great stories, funny stories, sad stories, just tons and tons of fun stuff to share that I really think that people are going to, they're going to really
relate to.
Very much relate to, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that.
Yeah.
I think before we kick everything off, though, I think people really need to know who we are. So why don't you kick it off with telling us a little bit about you?
All right. So I'm 41. I'm born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, the best city there is. Absolutely love it. I met my husband at the local Food Lion.
Yeah, that's a story in of itself, which we will share.
We will. And he and I have been married this year for 23 years. Wow, I just cannot believe it's been that long. And we have 3 beautiful daughters. Kaylee, she is 21. She is attending UNC Charlotte. She's going to be graduating in May of 2022.
Go Niners!
Go Niners! So I'm super excited for her and what she has in store for her. Then we have a 16-year-old daughter, Casey, who is actually the producer of this podcast. She also does mine and yours social media. So from Instagram to TikTok to Facebook, anything social media, that girl's doing it. Then we have a 13-year-old who is in the 7th grade, and she is all the time spending time with her bestie and
Playing some soccer.
So that is her. So Cher, why don't you share about yourself?
Well, I am also married. I am married to Eric, the love of my life, who I met at a stoplight. Great
That is
story.
true.
It's a great story for another
Podcast.
maybe a little later. And Eric and I have 4 kids. We have 2 girls and 2 boys. Our oldest is Kat. And Kat is
Beautiful girl.
30. She lives in Charlotte. She's got an awesome man, and she's a beautiful, beautiful 8-year-old little boy named Gabriel.
Cher's a grandma.
Cher is a grandma, and she's a proud grandma for sure. And then I have Taylor. Taylor's 28.
Sweet, sweet girl.
Taylor's also a UNCC graduate.
Yes, go Niners again.
Yeah, right. Go Niners. And she and her husband, Alex, live in Germany. They've actually lived overseas for almost 6 years now.
I'm so jealous.
It's crazy.
They just continue to travel the world.
Yeah, it's crazy. They lived in Taiwan for 5 years and moved to Germany this past July. And she's actually working on her doctorate right now. I think she's going to be a lifetime student.
I think so too.
But you know what? She is a teacher, and so she has a love for teaching, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And then we have 2 boys. Xander is 17. He is a senior in high school. And Xander has already committed to the United States Marine Corps.
Hoorah!
Yep. So excited for him. It is absolutely, it's something that we've known that he's wanted to do since pretty much birth. I mean, it's
his passion. It absolutely is.
And so he goes to boot camp in July, and we're so excited for him. And then we have Jackson. Jackson's 15, and he's in 10th grade.
Celebrity.
He's a little bit of an influencer, for sure.
Yeah.
Jackson's been very athletic most of his life. Actually, all of my kids are pretty athletic. But Jackson has somewhat of an influencer on Instagram and TikTok, and he is doing some advertising for some brands, and he's having a great time with it. So that's great.
This kid is amazing. Y'all have to go look him up on TikTok and Instagram.
I mean, that's a little bit about me, but why don't we talk about how we met?
Yeah. So, well, why don't
that day?
Yes, I do. But why don't you share how, I met Kyle through Eric. So, just FYI, I went to North Mech High School, and I played basketball for North Mech, kind of. And so one day after basketball practice, I was in, warm-ups or whatever. I went over to Food Lion, and I was going to go see a friend who worked at the Kerr Drugs at the time. And I walked through Food Lion, and these guys who worked at Food Lion were, like, following me. You like, turn around, and they're like, oh, hiding behind the aisle. And, so it was Kyle and Eric and some other guy or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we're walking around, and I'm like, what in the world? These people are, like, following me. So that was Eric and Kyle, and I worked down on the same strip mall at a local insurance agent.
So before you go further, you saw Kyle, and you were like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
you were checking him out, too. So
let's
just go ahead and just say, and you're in your basketball nastiness, right?
Yeah, I was all sweaty and everything.
Hair, ponytail, no makeup on, all that good stuff, and you see this gorgeous man.
Yep.
And you were like, oh.
That dude's hot. And I was, always trying to play,
cool,
the challenge type,
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're like, okay, he's kind of cute, but let's be a little
typical girl game, acting like you're not interested.
Exactly.
Totally understand.
So, but I also, I wasn't looking my best, so I was trying not to have like eye contact or anything. So we go through, and all of a sudden, I start seeing him over and over and over again. And so that's pretty much how Kyle and I met, was through Eric at the grocery store.
Didn't Eric come up to you and get your phone number?
Phone number,
for Kyle?
yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
And at the time, we had what was called beepers, pagers.
Hit me up on the hip.
Yeah, that's funny. So he hit me up on the hip, and we've been connected pretty much ever since.
So I met my husband at a stoplight.
Yeah.
And it's a funny story. It's not one I'm going to share today because we'll be here all day long talking about it. But we did meet at a stoplight.
They did.
And we exchanged numbers. And
weren't they coming to our house?
Well, your house was definitely the excuse. Don't you remember that Eric came up and knocked on your door?
Right. Exactly. They came to our house.
But how we met was actually after a few years after you and Kyle met. And I met Eric, and he and I started going out. And my friend Sherry and I were coming over to Eric's house, and you and Kyle were over there, right?
We were. We went over, and Eric was like, hey, we're having some people over. Why don't y'all come over? So we went over. Now, this is just get the picture of a college condo.
College boys.
So college boys condo. They drinking, doing all that, and
doing what typical college boys
do at that time,
all the time.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I'm sitting there.
They were all of age. Let me just go ahead and just preface that and say that they were all of age.
So, in walks in at the time that I didn't know Sherry. They walk in, and they have 2 kids with them, and so I'm like thinking back, just think of maybe Sweet Home Alabama, where you got a baby in a bar, because at the time it's like a bar in a college condo, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, who are these ladies?
So this was during the day. It was not a party at night when we came over.
No,
I just definitely want to say that.
It was early evening.
But I had Taylor, who is my daughter from my first marriage. So Taylor and I came in.
She was like 5, right?
She was 5. And Sherry, who was a dear friend of ours, her niece, Jordan, was with her. So Taylor and Jordan were friends, and we came walking in. I won't ever forget the way you looked at us.
Yeah, I was like, who in the world would bring their babies here?
We didn't stay long.
No, you didn't. No, they went out to eat or something like that. And
I think that's exactly
probably
what we
Chuck
did.
E. Cheese
actually.
or something.
Probably. That's so funny. So I grew up in Charlotte. You grew up in Charlotte.
Yep.
We have that in common.
We do. We both have brothers.
We both have brothers. We have that in common. Both of our parents are in real estate.
Yep.
We have that common. Actually, right after we met, I called my dad, and I was like, oh, Dad, I met a new friend. Her name is Heather, but I think you might know her mom. She's in real estate. Her name is Peggy. And Dad was like, I know Peggy.
It's
like
so
such
crazy.
a small world, such a small world. You went to North Mech.
I sure did.
I went to West Charlotte. WC in the house.
Oh.
So
I played basketball.
I played basketball.
I played softball.
I played softball. I also was a cheerleader, and I swam.
I was not.
And I was a swimmer.
I swam.
I was going to say, you were a swimmer too, right?
I didn't swim on a team or anything, but, you know, I swam. I knew how to swim.
Well, I swim on a team.
Yeah.
But, so we have a ton in common. We have a lot not in common, but we have a ton in common.
Absolutely.
One of the biggest things that we have in common, besides, so look, personally, you know, our husbands are really close friends. They've
Very
been
close.
really close friends since before
we were friends.
We were friends. You know, we both have kids.
Yep.
You know, I think anybody that has a kid can definitely relate to people who have kids, whether you have girls or boys, and
right.
You know, for sure.
You're my ride or die. So let me just tell you that she lives in my neighborhood.
Yep.
Like, we go everywhere together. Our kids used to cheer together. They no longer cheer at all. So, you know, we've spent a lot of time together, and we have a lot of similarities.
Oh, yeah, tons. But we're both in the mortgage business.
We sure are.
Now, I've been in the mortgage business 28 years.
And I've been in the mortgage 22 years.
22, yeah.
22.
Yeah, so we're kind of old ladies in the mortgage business, to be quite. I mean, it's
I would just say we're the OGs,
the
baby.
OGs. That's 50 years between us,
That's
dude.
right.
Like,
That's
I mean,
good.
Yeah, like we're old ladies in the mortgage business for sure.
Cher's the walking. She is. I call her the mortgage whisperer.
The mortgage whisperer. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. I just like to fix problems. I'm the fixer.
She is the
I am
fixer.
the fixer. But you weren't in the mortgage business when I met you.
No, I was not.
You actually worked at a doctor's office.
I did work at a doctor's office. Okay. You know, checking in patients, doing medical records, setting appointments, stuff like that.
Can you tell me, Heather, how in the world is it that you're working at a doctor's office about 20 minutes from your house,
mm-hmm.
and somehow you're now going to work as a receptionist in a mortgage company?
Yeah.
That was an additional 45-minute drive for you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you took a pay cut.
I sure did.
Yeah. How in the world did that happen? Just please tell me.
Because you can sell ice to an Eskimo, honey.
Did I really sell you?
Yeah, you did. You did. You sold me a bill of goods.
Was it really a bill of goods?
It was good because I love it now, you know. But let me tell you, she was like, "You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. We're gonna spend a lot of time together."
Well, all of that was true.
It was.
You did love it. It was great. We did spend a lot of time together.
And we still do.
And
let me tell you, yes, I did take a pay cut. Yes, I did.
You increased their drive.
I increased the drive time a lot, so my gas. And at this time in 2000, like we were poor. We were poor.
We were
like,
super poor.
We were eating
ramen noodles,
which I absolutely still love. I still eat them to this day.
Not me.
No? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?
No, the boys and Eric still eat ramen noodles. They absolutely love it. Even Jackson and Eric will eat ramen noodles dry as like chips.
Yeah.
And
I mean, so my husband makes fun of me, but I love a mayonnaise cheese sandwich. It is the bomb.
So do you know that our husbands used to make mayonnaise, cheese, and bacos, and they called it a bacowich?
yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Okay, sorry.
Awful.
Didn't mean to get off on that. But I wanted to say that, yes, I got in the mortgage business in 2000. Yes, it was a long drive. We took a pay cut, and...
You took a pay cut.
I did. And the amount of extra time I spent at work was unbelievable because I became a receptionist, and then Cher, you know, taught me that it no longer was charts, it was files at the time.
You used to drive me crazy. Hey, Cher, where do you want this chart? It's not a chart.
It's a
file. It's a loan file.
Yeah, it took me a minute to get the medical field out of me, but I did it.
But what a long way we have come, because you know, you look around your office now and there's no more files. It's
all paperless.
It's all paperless. Yeah, that's crazy.
So we processed, and then
so you were a receptionist. You learned to process.
Yep, she taught me how to process, and then
I went into sales.
You did. But
no, I went and underwrote for a while at United Guarantee, and then I came back out and came into sales, and you were processing with me or for me.
For you, yeah. And we were cranking out some major loans at this time, and
We were busy.
The amount of overtime that we were working, I was working, was insane. Like, at this time, we had to mail our files to the underwriters.
FedEx.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know, during that time. I had to go meet the FedEx airplane at 10:30 at night.
At the
by
airport.
10:30 at night. Yeah. And I had a baby at home. My husband was taking care of all that. Yeah. It was a lot.
So basically, what I'm hearing is that us going down memory lane here, you're ready to kick my tail every step out of here.
Are you kidding me?
What I did to you and got you into.
Yeah.
It only made you stronger, though. It only made you stronger.
It did.
So, our kids are practically siblings. They call each other cousins.
They do. Everybody thinks they're cousins.
Yeah, they're together all the time. It's so funny. Your kids got my kid into cheer.
Yep.
Along with their babysitter, Miss Christie, and her kids, because they were also cheering too. So
that's awesome.
The boys, between being at Miss Christie's house and being with your girls, that's all. It's all Jackson wanted to do was cheer.
Cheer. Mm-hmm.
And Xander was perfectly fine playing Army and soccer. But when the kids got into cheer, we were together a lot. A lot. So
we traveled together
a lot.
Everywhere.
Yeah, often.
And actually, people thought that I was Jax's mom.
Which is hilarious.
For a long time.
But I think, what we can expect from this podcast, some of the things we're going to do is we're going to be strolling down memory lane for sure, talking about things.
Yeah.
We got a lot of great stories, sad stories. We've got funny stories. Even our sad stories are funny, to be quite honest with you. I mean, we talk about... We'll talk about losing a parent when you're young. And, even with the stories and talking about when my dad died, I mean, we still laughed our way through it. We laughed our way through the funeral. There's a lot that we want to share.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have some embarrassing moments that we're
mostly you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am so easily... being able to be made fun of, and
well, I mean, Heather, I checked. I actually did a poll.
Oh yeah.
And 8 out of 5 people agreed that you were going to be the most embarrassing person.
Nice. That was the joke. 8 out of 5. That's what I said.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of great stories. So we are going to share our embarrassing stories too.
Yeah.
Mostly because people can relate to embarrassing stories, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's people are embarrassed every day, and how do you cope with it, and how do you move on from it, and how do you not let it be anxiety on you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like driving through your house, or
oh my god,
throwing an air ball from the shooting a free throw
or
in front of your middle school,
or going to the wrong goal, whatever.
Yeah. that could happen too, right?
It sure can.
Absolutely.
Believe it or not.
So I think, and we're gonna be interviewing people.
Yes, we are, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, and we're gonna bring you along for the ride.
Yep. We are going to be talking about sports.
Yeah, most definitely.
I mean, that's
love
that's
sports.
kind of like our love for football.
Carolina Panthers,
go
baby.
Go Panthers. Our love for Steve Smith.
Oh yes,
Smitty.
I love him.
I mean, he's ice up, man. Like that's all I can think about.
Yep.
We're gonna be talking about that. We are definitely going to be making wagers between the two of us.
We absolutely love competition.
Yeah, competition.
I love games.
I mean, we compete with water.
Yeah, like who can drink drink the most water bottles a day.
If it's a competition, we're doing it. But
exactly.
If you ask us to do it on our own, then it's just
no fun.
Whatever.
It's no fun.
Right. Like I have to give me a soda.
Yep. Right. Exactly.
So we are gonna be having some competition. We're gonna spotlight some local businesses for sure.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that we get out there, and we also work for Movement Mortgage, and we want to spotlight what Movement Mortgage and the Movement Foundation is doing.
Yep, that'll happen.
So we're having some spots in there.
We want to. We're going to spotlight. I think it's important as you being two very strong women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we're very different personalities.
Very.
I am just a bulldozer, and you are quiet and meek sometimes.
We're kind of good cop, bad cop.
Absolutely, which is why we're each other's ride or die. Right. You're the yin to my yang.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's probably the way to describe it.
That's right.
So we do plan on spotlighting strong women. But that being said, we're going to spotlight men too, because I'm raising men, you know, and along with my husband. I'm not doing it on my own. So this isn't going to be all about women. It is going to also be about men as well.
Right.
And we've got a lot of strong women in our circle.
Yes, we do.
And I think that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
right? Having
absolutely.
them in and having them come and talk with us. And
share.
do the podcast with us and share and just spotlight them and what they do and what they're about. That's going to be fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. We're gonna kind of have some fun with the podcast, and it's not really a game, but it's kind of a game, right?
Yeah, because we're Southern girls.
We are Southern girls.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very Southern. I mean, if you're not hearing if you're not picking up on the accent, that twang, then. Yeah, my mom says that I spoke perfect English with no Southern accent and no slang Southern words until I started kindergarten, and then I came home sounding like a completely different kid. But whatever. So we're gonna have some fun with it. And every episode, we're gonna do this right now. We're gonna spotlight something, and what are we calling it?
Yeah, what are we calling it?
What you talking about, woman?
Southernisms.
That's it. What you talking about, woman? Southernism. So there's another one over there. We need to get it as well.
Yep.
Yeah, throw that over here, Case.
All right. So I always find myself, whenever I talk to other people, I'm like, I say things and other people are like, what are you talking about? What is that? And I was like, I need to go get a toboggan.
Oh, the thing you put on your head when it's cold and snowy outside.
Right. When you put a toboggan on, this is a toboggan.
Also known as a beanie.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So my husband, who's from California, who we argue all the time about the proper words to use. This is one of our very first arguments, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't a serious argument, but we were definitely debating it. And he was like, a toboggan is something that people up north ride on when they're going sledding. And I'm like, no, that's a sled.
Right, that is a sled.
A toboggan is the hat that you put on your head
when you want sledding.
To stay warm, or when you go sledding. That's right. Absolutely.
So that is our Southernism for today. Is things that other people say that may be construed as something else.
All right. So everybody that is here in Charlotte, or in the South actually, and visiting, coming down to visit, or coming here to live for good, you don't call it a beanie anymore. It's called a toboggan.
It is called a toboggan.
I don't care what they call it in the store.
It's called a toboggan. That's what it's called.
Absolutely.
Also, like to share that is the Carolina Panthers, Greg Olson, Levine Children's Hospital beanie.
That is.
Oh, God, I just said it.
You just said it. What is wrong with you?
Because you know what? I think they say that.
I think it does say beanie on there. I think it was on the website.
I don't know.
That's what I think it is. Greg Olson, we need to talk to you about that, buddy. We got to change that word to toboggan.
It is a toboggan. I am so sorry.
So today's been a lot of fun.
It has been, and I hope you all have thought that it was fun and can't wait to come back for next time, because we're going to deep dive into all of our funny stories.
We are.
And we're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about our lives for the week and everything else. So
we are.
I cannot wait to get back into it.
What do we have coming up? So we have the Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I honestly feel like the Super Bowl was played last weekend. I know everybody has gone online and said that.
Oh, my
gosh. But holy cow, what two great games those were.
Oh, my gosh. It was absolutely crazy. Back and forth.
And the reality is, our Panthers haven't given us anything to be real excited for. And, and I may get in trouble for the smack talk that I will talk later on in the podcast. It's going to happen. I know it is, because I won't hold back. Mm-hmm. But, man, what a day of football. It was so great.
It really was. I mean, that the Bills game and the Chiefs game was unbelievable. That is what football should be.
So the Buffalo Bills, excuse me. Yeah, with all of our old school Panthers players on the heart broke.
It was really, really good though. When two quarterbacks and a team that were all together can pull together and make some remarkable plays like
Yeah.
that. It was absolutely
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah, absolutely. So we are definitely going to be talking about football. We will be making wagers on the Super Bowl. That is coming up. That absolutely. Our wagers are going to be fun. No one will get hurt as a result of our wagers. They just may be embarrassed. Well, Heather will be embarrassed.
You know, all the time, Cher loves to embarrass me. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's just so easy, dude.
I know.
You make it so easy for me. I don't know what to say.
Whatever.
We are going to have someone special from Movement Mortgage who's going to come and talk about Movement Schools and Movement Foundation.
Yes.
She's going to come up. That's coming also with a wager because we are going to be participating in a 3v3 basketball tourney.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I just want to tell you, Movement Mortgage is so cool. We have the Movement Foundation, which has the Movement Schools here, 2 of them in Charlotte right now. And they are putting on a basketball tournament for a 3-on-3. We're going to have a police officer, a child from the Movement school, and then also somebody from Movement is going to be on the basketball
team.
game.
And so we've both volunteered to play.
So we did.
And I'm 5'1". Let me just throw that out there. But it's okay. I'll have my Jordans. I'll be good.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll be really good.
And we are participating in this 3-on-3, and I cannot wait because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get out there with the community and serve, and I can't wait.
It's going to be fun. So I just want to say, Heather, today was great talking with you.
It was.
I've had a lot of fun.
Me too.
How are you feeling now? Are you still have bubbles in your belly?
No, I think we're good. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to share our stories that will have people rolling.
I don't mean to share stories with you, but I think that's a great way for us to cut out is by sharing stories. My maiden name is Story. Yeah, it's so funny.
She loves to share stories.
So thanks for joining us today and listening in to our podcast. We hope that you guys enjoy it, and feel free to go onto our Instagram or our TikTok and comment about things that you would like to hear us talk about. If you know us personally and you know any funny stories, comment on those and tell us, hey girls, do y'all remember when? And we will absolutely talk about that because we remember when.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we do.
So subscribe and follow.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye y'all.